Ever since the beginning of time, humans have loved taking a risk, stepping into situations that might mean pain or even death. Danger somehow makes it all the more exciting. One wrong move, well, no, you can't afford a wrong move in this line of work. You may have heard the phrase, "Don't try this at home," and in truth, many of us leave the deadly risk-taking to the professionals. Or do we?
Hi, I'm Greg Grandy, and I'm at the home of the Anderson family. This is Mr. Anderson, Mrs. Anderson, their son Henry, he's 13, their daughter Hillary, she's 11, and that's little sister Holly, she's 9. Did you know y'all have already taken risks today and will tomorrow? In fact, living is about managing risk. When you brushed your teeth today, did you think about how old that toothbrush was and whether or not you replaced it after the last time you were sick? If you didn't, that toothbrush might still be loaded with germs that may keep you from feeling great.
When you were walking the dog, did you think about the fact someone could bother you while you were out walking? Did you realize that failing to follow directions when you're using household cleaning chemicals could be dangerous? And combining some of those may create a harmful concoction? And did you think about the chances of your being injured in a car accident? You're wearing a seatbelt, but think about your kids on that bus. Most school buses don't have seatbelts, even though research shows that seatbelts reduce the number of injuries in an accident. And your dog, though maybe not that threatening, can do a lot to discourage strangers from bothering you. But you also need to stay sharp and alert to decrease your chance of potential trouble. And we know you arrive to work every day safely, but there is a chance that you won't because of the risks involved. Risk is the probability that something undesirable or harmful might occur. For a risk to occur, there has to be a hazard, something that can cause injury, disease, loss of money, or damage to the environment. There also has to be exposure to the risk. Probability is a mathematical expression of how likely it is that an event, such as a risk, will happen.
Scientists use probabilities to analyze or review risks, to attempt to predict the likelihood of something harmful happening and the number of people that would be affected.
Society then uses this information to determine how to manage the risk, to see if the risk needs to be controlled through legislation, for example, or just voluntarily avoided.
Most of us assess risks based on our perceptions, though, and not on mathematical calculations. But are our perceptions always right?
Studies show that when most people rank risky activities and technology, they put nuclear power at the top.
But nuclear power doesn't even make risk experts' top 10 list.
Electric power actually weighs in as more risky than nuclear power, even more risky than mountain climbing and firefighting.
Many of us don't even give a second thought to high-risk things we do every single day, but fear those things that in reality have a very low probability of happening.
For example, research shows if you're under the age of 15 and riding in a car, you have more than a 1 in 150 probability you'll be injured in an accident. Traveling by plane, though, for all Americans, there's only about a 1 in 140,000 chance of even being involved in a crash, a 1 in 4 million chance on a bus, and a 1 in 5 million chance on a train. Riding your bike, though, you've got almost a 1 in 150 chance of being injured seriously enough to go to the hospital. That risk increases for motorcyclists to 1 in 25.
Heck, even staying in bed, you have a 1 in 650 chance of being injured by your bed, pillow, or mattress. But you can decrease your chances of becoming a statistic.
When you're in a car, for example, wear your seatbelt, and whoever's driving should be careful and attentive. And wearing a helmet is an excellent way to decrease your chance of a head or brain injury in a bicycle accident or a motorcycle accident.
But back to the Andersons, we want to see what some of their daily risks are. That's why we're outfitting Henry here with a tackle cam. Henry, just show us what you see in your everyday life, and Tackle Cam technology will alert you when there's a risk.
Henry's got to think about a few things here. Let's call it a risk review. To make an RR, we'll begin by identifying what the risks are and then the possible outcomes of those choices.
I have a big test in history today, and I haven't really studied. Man, I hope I don't flunk.
Henry may not know it, but he's been doing a risk review. He weighed whether studying was more important than a computer game last night. And now?
When did the Pilgrims land in America?
Isn't this test important?
Yes.
Did you gauge the probability that you would flunk the test without studying last night?
Well, looks like I'll be practicing my creative writing skills now. Oh boy. What?
Time to talk about cost and benefit.
Cost of what?
Cost and benefit. Instead of staying up late last night playing a computer game, you could have studied. The cost would have been one less spin of the wheel, but the benefit today would be...
Passing the test?
Right. If you could think clearly right now, you might remember something you heard in class and possibly pass, but you're getting sleepy. Very sleepy.
So you see, nothing is 100% risk-free, even schoolwork. The problem is that we don't often make a risk review, considering the cost of taking a risk versus the benefit of taking that risk. When you consider all the hazards we encounter every day.
Like chemical hazards, biological hazards, hazards at school, at play, or even personal hazards,
you begin to see how important making a risk review is to your safety and well-being. If you thought more about risks that you take, would you maybe manage them differently or take precautions to reduce them?
Do you wash your hands before eating?
Not all the time.
Think about all the microorganisms and viruses your hands pick up, touching doorknobs, the computer keyboard and mouse, your school desk, money, and flushing toilets. With all the public things you touch, the odds are good you're picking up germs that might make you sick. That's why you always want to wash your hands. In fact, every year, approximately 25 million of you catch the common cold and miss about 22 million days of school.
Hey, I'd like to show you something risky to me. This kid right here is my former best friend, John, but we're not friends anymore.
Get out of here. Go. Get out of here.
John started smoking because his new friends do, and he thinks it's cool. If you ask me, that's a big-time risk alert. I know he's heard about the dangers of smoking, but I guess he hasn't thought about the risk.
Let's look. Yep, smoking is a definite risk, and it's costly. Statistics show 66% of teens under 16 try smoking, and 25% are hooked by the time they're 18. Looking cool that way can land you an addiction that's hard to kick, and some heavy-hitting illnesses that could kill you, or at least make your life miserable.
Okay, tackle cam on the move. This is my friend Elise, and she must be up to her ears in risk. Some of the things I've seen her do ranks right up there as dangerous.
Good job, ladies. Grab under the arms. Good job. Hi, Henry. Cool camera.
Would you mind showing my friends one of the stunts you do on the squad?
Sure, no problem. 1, 2. Good. Okay. Cradle. 1, 2. Okay. Good job, ladies. Good job.
Hey guys, look at this. To gauge the risk, look at statistics here which say as many as 16,000 cheerleaders each year are injured during their routines, requiring emergency room treatment. Schools in several states even banned the human pyramid.
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, we practice and train a lot for the cheers, and Coach always spots us during the stunts, so it doesn't seem very dangerous to us.
What happened to you, Tracy?
I was doing a simple cartwheel and I fell on my wrist and broke it. If you think about it, there's risk in just about everything that you do. Life's no trip to the beach.
Funny you should say that.
Hi, I'm here at the beautiful sands on Gulf Shores, Alabama to cue you in on some risks you could encounter at the beach.
Of course, there's the unknown depth of the water and the waves, which can pose risks when you're surfing and swimming. And there's also the undertow. Beaches have developed a flag warning system to alert you of its presence and severity. And don't forget, beneath the water, creatures lurk there that pose risks to your well-being, such as stinging jellyfish and even sharks. But actually, you have less than a 1 in 2.5 million chance of being the victim of a shark attack. And out of the water, you need to be alert. When walking on the beach, be aware of broken glass or sharp objects. And you don't have to take home a souvenir sunburn if you use sunscreen with at least a 15 SPF rating.
You don't have to go to the beach to discover risks. There's things that can bite you in your own hometown. So, what's up, Andersons?
What if I was riding my bike and my brakes went out? I wonder if I should trade in my skateboard for a chess set.
Yard work is just way too risky. I don't think I'll chance it.
I never thought about how dangerous it could be doing all the things that we love.
There goes Saturday.
Hey, I'm not saying avoid all risk, just manage it, which means do what you can to better the odds. Now, here's your challenge. Go out and enjoy your Saturday, and let us follow you. When you spot something risky, let us know.
I know. We have to be careful what we choose to do, or we'll risk wasting our Saturday doing something boring.
Now don't get carried away.
I'm increasing my odds of surviving this car ride. Got it, Holly?
Okay, gang, we're off to a great start. We made it here safely.
Well, see you around.
Whoa, wait a minute. Where do you think you're going?
Aren't you forgetting something? Like what?
Like your helmet and your knee pads.
Mom, I don't like wearing my helmet.
Well, you would like being in the hospital room with a skull fracture even less. It could happen.
Come on, Dad, let me use your fishing rod.
Wait, Holly, before you start, let me show you how it works.
I've seen you do it.
Yeah, but if we take it a bit slower, you won't get a hook stuck in your eye. Wait, here's another one. We have to make sure there's not a health alert on fishing in the water.
Oh, I've got one for you, Dad. The Spice-O-Matic on the lawnmower at home. One wrong move and you can lose some of your toes.
That's why I always wear shoes when I mow.
And push instead of pull. 'Cause one slip can mean goodbye, little toes.
Well, wait a minute, darling. Don't take the potato salad out quite yet. I haven't started the fire.
Oh, yeah, like they said in Scouts. Keep the cold foods cold and keep the hot foods hot.
That's right. Food poisoning could very well ruin our day. That's why we'll make sure that the hamburgers are all the way done, too.
Okay, say you're hiking and the trail is here, but it looks pretty neat over there. I know. Analyzing the risk over here won't tell me what kind of unseen things could complicate the hike over there, right? Oh, and I don't usually hike alone. And on long hikes, I pack plenty of water, snacks, a first aid kit, and even a compass just in case I'm separated from the group. And I also look out for potential hazards like poisonous plants, wild animals, and dangerous trail conditions. And wearing the right shoes and clothes help. Even insects can be a problem. My sister is allergic to bee stings, so we always have to remember to bring along her medicine. Yes.
And we've weighed the dangers of boating.
We like it enough. We're willing to take the time to prepare for a safe trip. and use our common sense on the water.
Bye. Take care.
We know we will.
Now that you understand that each decision you make can involve a risk, you're better off if you make a risk review. Note the cost-benefit of your choice and the probability that the worst might happen. Then you know you control your own personal safety. I know I do. I'm dodging meteors. I hear the chances are astronomical of a meteor hitting you or me. I'm not going to wait for that to happen. Oh, don't worry. I've already studied the risks. I've got my helmet and knee pads, and I'm ready to enjoy the benefits. Goodbye now. Assess the risk, consider the benefit, and I'm ready to take the plunge.